So we got another card that shows the UFC just don't give a fuck about their fans. We have UFC Fight Night. Lemos versus Jandrioba, one of the fucking worst main events ever. It hasn't even happened yet, but I just know not main event worthy at all. Maybe Amanda Lemos gets a KO. Maybe it'll make everything worth it. But this is just an awful card all round. This is worse than last week's card, and last week's card wasn't like too crazy on paper either. But let's start with the first fight of the night, and I'm sorry to be a negative Nancy so fucking early into the video, but like seriously, what the fuck is going on with these cards, man? But we have Mo Usman versus Thomas Peterson. I mean, I think this is a pretty clear-cut pick. Thomas Peterson lost to Jamal Pogues. He looked awful against Pogues. Couldn't do a single fucking thing. And I don't think if you can't take down, an overweight guy like Pogues, and I'm not saying that to be disrespectful to him, but I mean an unathletic, overweight guy, I don't think he's going to be able to take down and maul a big, athletic, muscle-bound guy like Mo Usman. I think Mo Usman's going to be too athletic for Thomas Peterson to get anything done. I think Mo Usman can take down Thomas Peterson. I think he can probably knock him out as well. So I'm going to take Mo Usman to get this one done. If I had to, if I have to have a pick, like a way of him winning this, I'm going to go by a second round KO, I think. Maybe the first round will be a bit iffy, but Thomas Peterson, I think, will gas out. And I think Mo Usman will land a big shot on him and probably put him away. So yeah, I'm going to go Mo Usman. Thomas Peterson, was a guy I thought was like not too bad, but then that Pogues performance was like, yeah, that's just not ideal. Like he was winning against Waldo Cortez Acosta and then got chinned in the third round of their fight. So I was thinking, maybe most times out of 10 he wins that fight, but it's like, I don't know. I just don't think he's got a very high ceiling at this point. I mean, Chandler Cole, the guy he beat, is quite literally like fucking morbidly obese. Like, not even being disrespectful, but Chandler Cole is literally morbidly obese. He's 5'10", 265 fucking pounds. Like, and he probably cuts as well to get to that. Like, that's generally obesity. Like, that is an obese man. Like, there's no muscle in him. So, Thomas Peterson, don't think he's going to get this one done. So I'm going Mo Usman. Moving on up, we have Luana Carolina versus Lucy Pudilova. I think that's how you say it, from the Czech Republic. I'm going Luana Carolina here. I just don't think Lucy Padivova is really that great, to be honest. She lost to Alien Perez, but actually, I think she arguably won that Jocelyn Edwards fight. So maybe I'm misremembering this a little bit, but still, she's got that many losses. But Camus, she was in the UFC before. I completely don't remember that. That says a fucking lot about her. I would have watched those fights as well. She lost to Shevchenko, Antonia, not fucking Valentina, but she got destroyed by her. Lost to Camus, Aldana. Ooh, she lost to Teresa. Oh, no, I'm thinking of the wrong chick there. I'm thinking of the wrong one. Sorry, my bad. I don't know, this is really interesting. It's hard to predict here. I'm gonna go Carolina though. I think Carolina's looking pretty good, and that Molly McCann loss isn't aging too badly when you look at it. She did beat Storialenko, who also beat Molly McCann. She beat Ivana Petrovic. She beat Lupita Godinez in a robbery. She shouldn't have won that fight, but still, having a competitive fight with Lupita Godinez is pretty good. I'll go Luana Carolina. I can't predict women fights to save my life, but I'll go Carolina here. Then we have Loic Radzhabov versus Trey Ogden. Now this is interesting because Trey Ogden is like the Bilal Muhammad of lightweight. Fights very similar. He's always winning until he's always winning fights unless he gets like, caught or something. Well, I mean, okay, that's maybe I'm simplifying a little bit. He did lose to Jordan Levitt and Ignacio Bahamondes by decision, but what I mean is like he's always seems to be in control until like maybe a big moment or something like that, or if he's against somebody who's too, what's the word I'm looking for? Like somebody who's coming forward, pressure style, not letting him get his like space and stuff like that. He doesn't. He really needs to build into a fight. It seems like. He's a weird fighter though, Trey Ogden, to be fair. He is weird. He could have arguably beat Jordan Levitt though, that has to be mentioned. And then the Ignacio Bahamondes, I think he had like a late surge in that fight, if I remember correctly. And Nicholas Motta, he clearly won that fight. The referee sort of fucked him over. He was dominating Nicholas Motta, so we know he can dominate. He dominated Kurt Holloway. But Radzhabov, I rate his level of competition a lot higher. You know, he knocked out Al Salwadi, beat Esteban Ribovic in a close fight. I'd say he's arguably, he's beaten much better competition than Trey Ogden. I think that's a hot take. He beat Chris Wade when Chris Wade was like the man. So yeah, he's a good fighter. It is an interesting fight, to be honest. Trey Ogden just seems to be... He looks like a very big lightweight as well. It's going to be mentioned. Both of these guys don't look like lightweights. Radzhabov looked fucking massive against Rebecki, and he still lost. And he missed weight in that fight as well. Even against Al Sawadi, he was getting hurt a lot. But does Trey Ogden really have that pop in his shots to hurt Loic Radzhabov? I don't know. This is a weird one to predict. I'm going to go with Radzhabov. I think he will get this one done. I'm not very confident in it, but I will go with him. So yeah, that's how I'm going to go. Then we have Miranda Maverick versus Dayan Barboza. This is a hard one to predict because Miranda Maverick is also very hit and miss. Like, it's hard to know what Miranda Maverick is going to show up, like, respectfully to Miranda Maverick. No disrespect. She arguably should have won the Macy Barber fight. But then she did get dominated by Jasmine Jasudavicius, which is like an odd one. But I guess Jasmine's not horrible by any means for women's standards, like flyweight standards. So I don't know. This is a really interesting one to go. I am going to pick Miranda Maverick to get this one done. I think she can sort of just like neutralize the jiu-jitsu of Barboza and just get on top and, land some ground and pound and get a victory that way. But she's got to be careful of them arm bars. Wow, I sound like a fucking robot right now, guys. Holy shit. Okay, then we have Brian Kelleher versus Cody Gibson. Man, Brian Kelleher hasn't looked good for a very long time in these fights. His last win was against Kevin Kroom over 2 years ago. But then, he has had a pretty rough go of things. Umar Nurmagomedov, that's a pretty fucking tough fight for him. Mario Batista, that's a tough fight. Cody Garbrandt, that's a fucking tough fight. He had Journey Newson, like, seriously, out of all the fights he had to be pulled out from, it was against Journey Newson. Like, what a fucking rough go of things. And then he fought Cody Garbrandt where he got knocked out cold. Now he's fighting another Cody. Not as good as Cody Garbrandt, but Cody Gibson is good. He's a weird fighter as well. He's one of those weird ones where you don't really know what type of fighter is going to show up. But I think I'm going to go with Cody Gibson to get this one done. I rate his recent performances a lot better than Brian Kelleher. Like, I know he lost to Brad Katona. He lost to Brad Katona and he lost to Mars Johns, but not horrible losses, and they were competitive fights. It wasn't like he just got steamrolled and 30-26 or whatever. They were competitive. And, he did beat John Dodson like 2 years ago. I'll always rate a win over John Dobson no matter where he is in his life. So honestly, I'll take Cody Gibson. I think he'll get a decision. I think he'll show like there is a bit of a level difference between him, Umar, all these guys. Like, he's a level below those dudes. But I think he'll show that he's still better than Brian Kelleher. Then we have Haider Emil versus the Korean Conor McGregor, Jing Lee, the Korean Tiger. He calls himself the Conor McGregor. He wants to be the Korean Conor McGregor. That's why I called him that. Yeah, he's really good. He had a really good performance over Blake Builder. Where, if I remember that correctly, he dropped Blake Builder a bunch of times, but he did show a bit of bad IQ in that fight, not to go in there and get a finish. Like, it was his fight to win, pretty much. Like, he really fucked himself over, if I remember that correctly, but he still dominated him, won every round, I believe. And he is very good. He's a very sharp shooter. Haider Emil, there's a thing about this guy is, yeah, he's good, but he's very, very hittable. He's very, very reckless, is the way I'd put him. He fights at a very high pace. He is 34 years old, which is pretty older on the older side of things for a featherweight. How old's Lee actually? Let me check. Okay, Lee's 28. Lee's a younger guy. Like, I know Emil is an undefeated fighter, but that doesn't really matter too much when it comes to, like, he has competitive fights with everybody. I think even Fernie Garcia was landing some big shots against him. The guy he fought on Dana White Contender Series was a Turkish Cage Warriors fighter. He doesn't know how to commit any damage for his fight, so he didn't really, like... It was a pretty good matchup for me because he didn't have to worry about getting damaged, but you look at all these guys, split decision over a 9-6 opponent, split decision over a 2-0-1. And I know MMA math doesn't work that way, but I think the fact that if you go in there and have a fucking brawl with this guy, you can land shots, and he can have competitive fights with lower levels of competition. I think Lee's going to be able to catch him. Maybe not put him out straight away, but I think he'll be able to hurt him a lot and either get a decision or a late TKO. So I'm going to go Lee. And I'm going to go by second round TKO over Haider Emil. But I'm very excited for this fight. Then we have Do Hoo Choi versus Bill Algeo. It's always good to see the Korean Superboy back. He fucking seems to disappear and then come back every year. Like, he was scheduled for a fight in 2021 then disappeared. Like, I know he had that whole Korean what's it called, like the South Korean military training that they all have to do. Like, every citizen I think over there has to do that, so he obviously he missed out a few years of his prime. But when he did leave, he had lost to Stevens, not Stevenson, and then he lost to Charles Jourdain, and then should have won that Carl Nelson fight, but it was a draw. Bill Algeo is a weird fighter. He has very, very weird movements. He's like a worse version of Corey Sandhagen, which I know sounds like an insult, but I mean it in a polite way. Compared to Corey Sandhagen's pretty nice. But looking at this fight, it's interesting. Like, Carl Nelson's the first one to chin him. Do I think somebody's going to go in there and just immediately chin him again? I don't know. The Korean Superboy, he punches pretty hard. He's got good power, especially for that featherweight division. And I do just think he is better than Bill Algeo. Bill Algeo is older as well, I believe. Bill Algeo is already 35. He's older. He's coming off his first KO loss. And that was, not that... Oh, what the... Oh, wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong person. So I was 2023, I was on the wrong topology. That was would have been 4 months ago now. So I guess he's got a decent amount of time to recover, but I think Do Hoo Choi is going to get a TKO here. So I'm going to go Do Hoo Choi, the Korean Superboy, getting a TKO over Bill Algeo in a back and forth scrap. Maybe it's a bit of a stinky first round, but then in the second, Do Hoo Choi start landing them bombs and get him out of there. Then we have Cody Durden versus Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva's good, but he's never active. The guy disappears. Last year, I think he fought Tyson Nam, yeah. I'm gonna go Cody Durden. I'm just gonna go Cody Durden. I think this is his fight to win. I just think he's a better grappler. I think he's got good takedowns. Charles Johnson has some of the best takedown defense, and he couldn't stop the takedowns from Cody Durden. I know that is a bit of MMA math, but I think Cody Durden can get those takedowns going. I think he can get Bruno Silva down, and I think he can take a decision. I don't think it's going to be a crazy good fight, to be honest. I think Cody Durden's going to have his way a little bit on the ground. Bruno Silva does have good takedown defense, but he's been out for so long. He's older, on the older end of flyweight at 34 years old. I think Cody Durden's not that young either. He's 33, so not too young himself, but he's been active. Activity is everything in this sport, and I'm gonna trust in the activity of Cody Durden to get him this fight done, to be honest. I think just he's shown few more wrinkles in his game. They both fought JP Buys. JP Buys, isn't particularly great. He's not known for his chin either, but Cody Durden did it quicker, so I guess I can base that. Out of all these people, Cody Durden did it the quickest. That's fucking crazy, to be honest. But yeah, I'm gonna take Cody Durden by decision. Then we have Kurt Holloway versus Kanan Krushakowiski. Man, this card is so weird, to be honest. I'm gonna take Kanan. I think Kanan's gonna get this one done. Yeah, that's. I mean, I gotta give more than of an explanation. Wow, this guy was a flyweight at one point. What the fuck? No way. He was scheduled to fight Davison Figueiredo at flyweight. That's crazy. Also, he got pulled out of a fight because of a motorcycle accident. That's crazy. Holy shit. Yeah, so obviously, Kanan is a guy who's fought at all different weight classes over the years. But I'm going to... They're both older as well. And, you know, and Kanan is coming off a KO loss. Like a brutal KO loss. This is the weird fucking fight to predict, to be honest. I don't know, man. This is a weird one. Do I trust in Kurt Hollabaugh to KO him though? I don't. I don't think I do. I'm gonna go Kanan Krushakowiski. I'm not super confident in this pick, but I say he gets a decision in this fight. Not super confident though, obviously. Then we have Steve Garcia versus Zhang Wu Choi. I'm gonna take Steve Garcia. Honestly, I do think Steve Garcia can get this one done. To be honest, you know, I think we all realize now that Sung Woo Chu, his chin's just sort of gone at this point. Knocked down twice by Josh Kalibau, knocked out by Michael Trezano. I know he beat Jano Aarons, but I think he got rocked in that fight if I remember it correctly. And then obviously, he did beat Yusuf Zalal though. That is a really good win when you think about it. Yeah, he's a weird fighter. Like, generally one of the weirdest fighters to predict fights for is Zhang Wu Chu. But I think he has been on a downward spiral of recently. And I am going to take Steve Garcia. Garcia's on the run of his career. They beat Chase Hooper, which has aged really well for him, but that was featherweight Chase Hooper. You know, we're going to see how he does against lightweight Chase Hooper. But yeah, generally, I'm going to take Steve Garcia. You know, he's coming off a KO over Costa, uppercut to the body over Shaylin Nurdebeke, left hook to ground and punches by Chase Hooper. Mahashate is a weird loss to have, but that was a lightweight, so I think that was a lightweight. I believe so. That was a lightweight, so maybe he just can't handle the lightweight power. Beat Charlie Ontiveros. Did beat Shepe Mariscal as well, which is a pretty good win. Aging really well. So you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna take Steve Garcia to get this one done via KO. Or TKO. We'll say TKO. I can just see him hurting Sung Woo Choi and then getting him out of there. Then we have Brad Tavares versus Jun Yong Park. Jun Yong Park's got some good hands, but he is a wrestler at the same time. And if you're a wrestler fighting Brad Tavares, you're going to lose. I think he's going to shoot on Brad Tavares. Brad Tavares going to use that elite takedown defense. And yes, I do use the word elite. He has the best takedown defense at middleweight. By far, nobody ever takes this guy down. He's fucking elite when it comes to his takedown defense. I don't think Jun Yong Park has the power to put him out either. You know, rear naked choke, rear naked choke, rear naked choke. You know, he doesn't have that power of a... Like, he just doesn't have the power of a, say, you know, fucking... like Gregory Rodriguez. Sorry, I just got a notification that Grant Dawson versus Rafa Garcia, the 12th of October. What the fuck? Why are they booking fights so far away? Anyway, sorry, to get back on track. Yeah, I think Brad Tavares gets this one done. Good takedown defense, lands a lot of good shots, has good output. You know, had a war with Dricus du Plessis back in the day. And I say back in the day, like 2 years ago. Dricus is champion. He's run through everybody since, besides Strickland and Tavares. So, I'm going to take Brad Tavares. I know he got chinned by Gregory Rodriguez, but, I mean, Gregory Rodriguez chinned both of these guys as well, to be fair to him. So, shout out Robocop. But yeah, I'm going to take Brad Tavares, probably by decision. I think he'll be able to sprawl and brawl his way to a decision. So yeah, I'm going Brett Tavares. Then we have Amanda Lemos versus Verna Jandrioba. Now, Verna Jandrioba can probably just go in there and maybe take Lemos down over and over again. But I'm going Amanda Lemos by KO. I just think she'll eventually catch Verna Jandrioba. I'm not super confident on this pick by any fucking means. I'm not going to be, yeah, this is 100% going to happen, you know. But I just have a feeling Lemos will land that big shot on Verna Jandrioba. And Lemos does have some crazy good power. And I thought Verna Jandrioba, Lemos's power is crazy. I'm just going to say that again. But Verna Jandrioba, I didn't even think she won her last fight. I really didn't think she beat Lupi Godinez. Godinez was sort of boxing her up and she sort of messed it up by going for so many takedowns. But Lupi was landing some good shots on her. And I think if Lemos lands the same shot, she can put Verna Jandrioba out. So I'm going to go Amanda Lemos by KO. But yeah, this is a stinky card. But let's just fucking touch hands, pray. This is going to fucking turn out to be a good card, but I'm not very confident in that. But we'll see what happens. Those are my predictions. Let me know your predictions in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you like, and I'll see you guys next time.